Hi everyone, my name is Frank Vollkommer. I'm the Director of Culinary Industry Development for the Auguste Escoffier School of Culinary Arts. I'm really pleased to have an opportunity to share a modernized version of one of my favorite French pastries, the classic Pear Almond Tart. In this video, I'll show you some base recipes, as well as how to make your own praline using a stone grinder. With a modern approach to assembly and finishing, I'll show you some interesting chocolate techniques, as well as a really cool 3D printed sugar decoration. So let's get started. The Almond Sublet is a basic creaming method tart dough with almond flour. This recipe uses powdered sugar, which makes it nice and crispy. Blend the butter, sugar, and salt together, adding the egg in stages. Add the almonds and the flour, mixing just until combined. Chill the dough for a few hours until it's firm. Roll the dough out to a thickness of 1/8 inch and cut circles with a 2 3/4 inch cutter. Arrange the cookies on a sill pan and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until golden brown. Lightly sand the edges with a microplane. This almond sponge is a combination method cake recipe that works great with any type of nuts. Toasting the nut flour ahead greatly improves the flavor of the finished cake. I start with the meringue so that I don't have to wash the bowl between stages. Once the egg whites reach medium peaks, transfer them to another bowl and change to the paddle attachment. Cream the butter, sugar, and salt, adding the yolks slowly. Add a little of the nut flour and the milk following with the flour, mixing just until combined. Fold in the meringue in thirds. Spread the batter evenly onto 2/4 sheet pans lined with parchment paper. Bake at 360 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 10 to 12 minutes or until golden brown. After the cake is cooled, cut circles using the 2 3/4 inch cutter. For the almond praline, I like to use half skin-on almonds for the flavor and appearance of the toasted skins in the finished product. This recipe produces good results with other nuts as well. Start by toasting the nuts lightly. Dry caramelize the sugar to a deep amber color. Pour the caramel over the toasted nuts. Allow the nuts and caramel to cool completely. Break the caramel nut mixture into pieces and add to a food processor in stages. Continue grinding until the mixture begins to liquefy. To refine the praline, I'm using the 100% Chef Twin Stones grinder from my friends at the John Kerner Company in New Orleans. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces of equipment. Refine the mixture anywhere from 3 to 6 hours or until the desired consistency is reached. This Pear Compote recipe is really simple and fresh tasting, with the tartness of apricot and accents of vanilla and orange. Start by scraping a vanilla bean into the pot and zesting an orange. Peel the pears and cut into a uniform 1/8 inch dice. It's important that the dice is very small and uniform for even cooking and for the appearance in the final presentation. Add the apricot preserves and the sugar. A splash of white wine or pear brandy is optional. Cook the compote on low heat at a gentle simmer until the pears are translucent. Add a small amount of cornstarch slurry to thicken the compote, being sure to bring back to a boil to fully cook out the starch. This recipe works well in entremets with 1% gelatin to its total weight added while it's still warm. To create the chocolate rings that will serve as the containers for the tarts, start with a 10-inch piece of acetate or guitar plastic on a flat surface such as plexiglass or a sheet pan. Place 1 mm thick rulers a few inches apart over the plastic strip. You will need a flat edge taping trowel and something to cut the strips. I made this multi-cutter with X-Acto blades, a threaded rod, and some spacers. Prepare a tube at the same diameter as the cutters used for the cookies and the cake with paper. Pour some tempered chocolate at the front edge of the rulers. Use the flat edge trowel to evenly distribute the chocolate across the rulers. It's helpful to have a piece of paper near the end to catch any chocolate that extends past the edges. Allow the chocolate to crystallize until set but still flexible. Using the multi-cutter, follow along the edge of the rulers to make one clean cut. Separate the ends with a cut made at reference points on the rulers. Remove the plastic sheet and carefully wrap it around the tube. Use a piece of paper and tape to hold the plastic sheet on the tube. It is important to allow the chocolate strips to crystallize fully at room temperature to avoid distortion as the chocolate contracts. To unmold the strips, carefully cut the tape and remove the paper. Peel off the plastic to reveal the shiny chocolate rings. For the chocolate tart lids, I chose to create an opening to reveal the Pear Compote inside. I created a custom template to match the shape of the 3D decor, but this can also be accomplished by using round cutters if you have the right size. You will need the lids to be approximately 2 millimeters larger to sit on the top edges of the rings. To make the lids, prepare a sheet of acetate or guitar plastic stuck to a flat surface with pan spray or water to help keep it secure. Place the 1 millimeter rulers a few inches apart and spread tempered chocolate with a flat edge trowel. Allow the chocolate to set slightly and use a template or cutters to cut the shape. Alternatively, you could use round cutters to cut the lids. Cover the sheet of chocolate with paper, weight it with plexiglass or a sheet pan, and allow to fully crystallize. To assemble the tarts, place the Almond Sublet cookies on a sheet of acetate or guitar plastic. Pipe a small bead of tempered chocolate around the edges of each cookie and place a chocolate ring around it. Press the ring inward to create a seal at the bottom edge. Repeat this for each tart. To close the connection at the end of the chocolate rings, pipe a drop of chocolate between the ends and lightly press them together. Next, fill the tarts with the Almond Praline to a depth of 1/4 inch or approximately 20 to 25 grams. Place a circle of the almond sponge into the tarts and press them down lightly into the praline. Apply approximately 20 to 25 grams of the Pear Compote to the tops of each tart and spread evenly to the edges. Add the chocolate lids. At this point, you could add a decor of your choice, such as chocolate, caramelized almonds, or dried pears. The tarts could be displayed at room temperature or refrigerated. For this special occasion, I was really stoked to work with my friends at Culinary Printworks to design these amazing, custom 3D printed pear slices. The process involved the design of a digital image that was printed in sugar at an astonishing 1 millimeter thickness. A chocolate seed and a bit of color was added to the edges to help set them off. The decor is less sweet than typical sugar and has a pleasant, crisp texture. I'd like to thank you for joining me. I hope you found this educational and inspirational. Until next time, bake it until you make it.